Gumo.
You get that from her. This is what she does behind the scene every time.
No.
Well, maybe not every time. I get silly too sometimes. So come on, girl.
This is not me. I am very I'm very put together. I'm not. I'm very
the video of
demure.
us singing.
No,
That song I can't forget.
that's not me.
Wasn't it only cool we're singing?
It's not me. Maybe you got a look-alike. I don't
She
know what
was
you're
even
talking
rapping.
about. I wasn't rapping. Anyway. Hello, everybody.
Only rap. Only rap. I remember that.
Please, this is a very serious matter.
Okay. I'm serious now.
Yeah.
Hi. Hi.
Hello.
This is Unfiltered Convo.
And this is Funmi with Affi.
Yeah. It's always a good thing for us to be here with you. And we talk about different things concerning us, really. So don't think that this is like, what do you call it? Like a very well planned. No. This is like something from our diary of two widows. The things and experiences that we've gone through, and we're sharing this with you so
Even
that
the
you
ones
don't
that
think...
we're still going through.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So you don't think you're alone in this, okay? And it's very unfiltered because we talk about sex, talk about financial challenges, we talk about dating,
Very interesting.
And soon we'll be bringing in some guests to talk with us about certain things so that we can hear their own experiences as well. And you too, if you are a widow or a widower, because it's not just for women, it's for men as well. If you have an experience that you'd like to share with us, okay, please come on board, okay, and join us. We would love to hear from you.
We will love to hear from you. We love to read the comments. We love to have people that want to share whatever it is that they are going through with us. But I think essentially we should not lose focus. We should not lose sense of the fact that the reason why we are doing this sharing is it helps others to feel less alone or feel like their struggles are peculiar to them. There are a lot of people that are in our shoes, but the trick is how are we navigating it and managing to keep our cool, our heads screwed on tight to our necks. So that's why we just have these conversations, and it edifies both of us.
She said her head or our head screwed on tight. My dear, it's most times it's dangling like this. No, well screwed.
I know, right? Forget about the makeup. Forget about the looking quite put together. And,
like my girl, isn't she looking so lovely today? This color looks so good on you, really.
It's
lovely.
Thank you. Red is a very lovely color.
It is.
Even
Lady
you yourself.
in red. Oh, I've lost my voice.
Oh, you have lost. I don't even have a voice.
Dancing with me. See, I'm holding my microphone like this, like, nobody here. Just you and me.
I'm not even feeling the song. Forget it. Sorry to pause and sound. Sorry to bust your bubble. But anyway, what are we talking about today? We want to talk about
self-sufficiency, right?
Yeah.
Basically how it is that because you've lost the person where you were co-sharing bills with and doing the life with, it's now everything is on you and you get to be the one basically doing it all by yourself. And it gets to a point, so you move from where it's a shock that, oh my God, are you sure I can do this myself, to you being very scattered brain, like, I'm not sure I can. You think you're forgetting things, you just feel like nothing is coming together, and then you move from that point to, okay, I'm beginning to get some things, a few things, but it's still not enough. Oh my God, I don't want to go begging. But then help comes to you and you're like, oh God, I can't accept this. But then at some point, your pride is kept under the table because you've got to accept every help that comes your way. And then you still move on to a point where you begin to manage, you're able to maybe not solve all the things, but at least patch it together. I think for me, that's the place of self-sufficiency. It's not that you're able to solve all of the problems, but you're able to patch things together,
What do you mean patch things together? Like it's a torn cloth, it needs to be patched. Because
sort of sometimes, because let me give an example of you have to, you're taking care of all of the bills yourself. Um you have to like find a way to take the children to school. You have to provide the feeding and stuff,
emotional support.
and yes, emotional support. And then there are some school PTA meetings that you can't attend. There are some sports days things you can't attend because you have to be at work by yourself. You have to work to make money to be able to pay bills. And sometimes you have to, like, you're doing this month, you're like, oh, okay, I'll register you for swimming. And then next month you can't pay for it. You're like, okay, we have to pull you out of swimming next month, okay? And then you're explaining, you're explaining to the children why it's the way it is, not because you don't want to do it, or you not because you don't want them to do it, but because you just try to make them understand that, look, I can't afford this at this point. And it's not about lying to them, because I don't lie to them. If I can't do it, I can't. If I can't afford it, I can't. If I have just £12 left in my account, I tell them, look, I have just £12 left, and this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. This is just the 7th or 8th. This is the 8th or of the month, or this is the 15th of the month. We still have some ways before the end of the month. Yeah. So we need to have some money in the account. I mean,
emergency funds. Or just
I do not have any emergency fund. I must be honest at this point. I do not have. I mean, it's something when I was back home. When I was in Nigeria, I used to have an emergency fund that I try as much as possible not to dip my hands into, but I haven't been able to get emergency fund because I am still, in the sea trying to stay afloat financially.
I like that analogy. So for me, I think self-sufficiency is, it starts from the place of, like you said, you get to a point where everything seems, not everything seems, everything is now on your head. Everything is on your mind, on your soul. You're bearing this burden that used to be borne by two people. So instead of just giving up and saying, I cannot deal with this, I'm sorry, this is overwhelming, this is too much, what do? You just pull up your trousers and say, how am I going to resolve this? Or in this case now, we adjust our skirts or our dresses, and you start thinking about outside of the box. How will we deal with this? For instance, what makes the UK peculiar is, like Affi said, the schooling system. The time you pick up, you can't just send. You can't, if you're at work, you have to work. You have to think about, how will the children get back home? Who would I send to pick them? And if you happen to be in a place where you've not made friends, and making friends is even difficult, and you do not have people to do that, in some people's cases, it becomes you juggling. Maybe you check out of work to go and pick the children, and then you're like, oh, stay with them when you are away at work. So you are thinking about that. You're also thinking about the financial aspect of their needs and your needs as well.
And don't forget that if you stay out of work, that's like an hour. If it's whether an hour or two, that's out of your pockets.
You're not going to do an hour, depending on the
I'm just saying that whatever the timing is, definitely it's a couple of hours or 3 hours or whatever hours it is they've taken out of your pockets.
So we are looking at support, we are looking at finances, we are looking at emotional presence or emotional availability for the children as well. So when you have done it over a course of time, and you are doing it, and you still see that, oh, I think I am getting the hang of this, I think I am managing, regardless of you're laughing, regardless of how challenging it is, then you're like, you get to the point where you say, okay, I think I can do all this by myself. I really don't need a man in my life. And so you get to that point, it becomes very difficult for any man to just walk into your life, and that man becomes that in a way that you will not question that man. It will be very difficult in a way that you not assess more than you're supposed to, in the sense that this man is coming to your life, and you are wondering, what else do you want to add to my life that I'm not able to do by myself? So that becomes kind of a criteria for you to say, I want to
This
have
is
a
the
man
kind
in
of
my
man
life.
I
I
want.
want in my life.
Exactly.
Because
okay, go on.
I wanted to say that I think needs make us, as women, it makes us take the bottom barrel of men. As widows, I'm talking about widows or single mothers now, generally. Our peculiar needs make us just go with the flow. Anyone that comes, even
I think you say make us feel we should go with the flow.
It makes us so. In that sense, you just adjust yourself. You make a compromise, even if you feel that I think this the kind of person I would like to really date is somebody that should be better in every ramification than this person that is in my life now. Even if we're not even talking about riches or wealth. We're talking about maybe um how intelligent is this person if you weigh him on a scale. How intelligent is he? Conversation wise, how well does he carry conversation? How very present is he, even in your life, emotionally? And how can he extend that to your children as well? So sometimes we just take what we shouldn't take because we are desperate and we are in need. However, when you are so self-sufficient, you are managing everything by yourself. The children are doing well and they are thriving in school. They are thriving in every sense of the word. They are not saying, "Oh, I wish we had a dad every other day." Then you are self-sufficient.
And just so you know, the thing about this self-sufficiency is, I mean, that's why a lot of women, who are single parents or widows, just tell themselves, you know what, I don't need a man in my life. I mean, I'd rather do it all by myself. Especially when you find that some of the men you see coming around they become like a third child or a fourth child, to you. You have children you're taking care of already. And then this man comes and is acting like a child. I mean, you have your life mapped out. Like, destiny has thrown you into this situation. And then you've taken some time, some months, some years, to work yourself out, to be able to what's the word now? To get that self-sufficiency, if I should put it that way, where this is the way I can run my life, and it's going well to a large extent for you. I mean, I'm not saying it's going in a very prosperous way, or it's going, for some people, it's going even a really, really good, prosperous way for them, And then this man comes in, you say you want to try a man, he comes in and, for example, he's eating and messing up the place and then leaves, gets up and go, or he uses the toilet, it doesn't flush, something, or he's not even very useful. Like if you have children, he's not like impacting them in the ways that you want. He's not a man,
in every sense of the word.
Exactly.
He's not a man you can lean into.
Do you really want that in your life? Like seriously? Do you really, really want that in your life? Because it feels like you're starting all over again.
No, because even when you were married, did you marry a toddler? Of course, not every relationship is perfect. Not every relationship.
But you guys grew together. Is this the time? I mean, maybe I should bring this up. Is this the time you want to start doing it, growing from bottom again?
Oh no.
I mean, I feel like for me, I feel like there's a stage you get to. I have done it. My man, we were young, we grew together, went through the rungs, and then we got to a level. And then this happened. And then, do you know what it takes to want to start that all over again? Come on. Would it be too much to say if I want to, like, say, I want to have a man in my life again? Would it be too much for me to ask for someone who has actually at least achieved something to a certain extent so that I don't have to start it all over again? I'm not younger. I'm a lot older. And I cannot, for me personally, I can't say that at this stage of my life, I want to start life all over again from the beginning like I did when I was in my 20s.
No, because you're even starting at an older age. So to an extent, you would have built your life. You'd have evolved into this person. You'd have come into your own. You know who you are. You know what you want.
Do you get?
And that is why I still think that women make a lot of compromise when it's from a place of desperate need for maybe food or shelter or clothing. These can make, if you're a widow and let's say your husband died and you didn't have a job, And then a man comes into your life and says, I will take care of everything. Because you just want to rest. You just want to have somebody look after you. And that comes with its own it's kind of like what do you call it? A poison chalice or a Trojan horse. Because gifts that have they are edged, like they can affect you negatively
But
when
why
you
would he
receive
come
it.
to act like he's coming to give you a rest? Haba.
Because you are vulnerable as a widow or as a single mother.
Please, can we move away from that vulnerable thing? I am not vulnerable. I refuse to be a victim. I refuse to be vulnerable. I understand the point where you're trying, where you're coming from. But the thing is, I still insist, as I said in one of the episodes, that people see widows or single parents as vulnerable, as praise, is it praise, right? People they could prey on. But see, look me well, as in, take a look at me. I don't think that I look,
Affi,
like a victim. But I totally understand you. And let me share one experience with you. I didn't meet this person, but online, and stuff. We're chatting, and then the next thing I'm hearing is, once because you're putting they know that you're a widow, you're not, you're widow and you're a single parent and all that, and they feel like, oh, okay, okay, let me not say this here. Let me let that go. I'm just going to let that example go. But the thing about self-sufficiency, I'm sorry, I really will, because I found it very repulsive. So I don't think I want to share.
The story.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, you can't take away. It's not as if the vulnerability level of it is not as if you present yourself as someone that is going to wither and die this very minute. What makes a woman vulnerable is, on the surface of it, she's easy pickings. On the surface of it, the barrier or the security that was on the surface of it, what was like an umbrella was taken away. So rain can choose any time to fall on you, and you do not have a defense, you don't have a shelter. And every other person around you perceives and sees that. And so, as much as you are saying, I don't want to be a victim, I do not want to be vulnerable, the point is, on the surface of it, that is what everyone else sees. Even if you are clothed in riches and wealth and everything, they're like, oh, this barrier has been broken, the hedges around this woman is down, so let us go in for the kill. We've had this conversation before.
We have.
If a widow in this apartment, a new widow lives in this apartment, and other people around this widow happen to know that she's a widow, it's a new discovery, then you see some men smiling extra, some men coming into your DMs and saying hello. Once you start getting those frequent hellos, eventually they are going to hit the nail on the head. Okay, I like you so much, I think you're admirable, and I think you cannot do life alone. You need me in your life, and I have a lot I can offer you. Is it money I can offer you? Or the other one that we don't talk about much in public. We can help you because it is not good for a young woman like yourself to be alone. Those are the things that make you easily prayable. It does not mean, however, that you're giving into those advances.
Well, that is
what makes a woman vulnerable.
This is actually the reason why we need to build ourselves up. It's okay to be a widow. When I say it's okay, life's thrown that at you. You can make the most of it. After all, they said, when life throws you lemon, what do?
Tangerines. You make tangerines.
Make a lemonade out of it, So that's the thing now. It's okay to be a widow. It's okay to be When I say it's okay to be a widow, it's okay to say, I don't want to move on with another man. It's okay to be you and be yourself. We've seen women do that. But you see, it's okay to be strong. It's okay to be self-sufficient. And this is what I'm trying to tell people now. I know we talk about dating, we talk about maybe as in wanting to move on, in terms of getting married again, or getting, having another man, having a companionship. Yes, we talk about that. But look, it's okay to not want all of that too. It's okay to say, I am self-sufficient by myself, and I'm going to do this, Yes. However I'm bringing is, it's a tough job, okay? Now, the help doesn't have to come in form of a man. I had a situation recently where my daughter's school, they called me to say that she wasn't feeling well, and that they wanted to know if she should stay back in school or should come back, and they couldn't give medications, here. So I thought of, usually I would say, let me talk to my daughter. I'll talk to them. I'm like, don't worry, you're fine. I'll pray for them. I'll say, in the name of Jesus, you are healed, okay? Because I believe in it strongly and all. And that's what I depend on. This time around, it's not as if it didn't work. It's just like, she said, the pain is so much, mommy, I cannot walk, So I said, okay, do you want to come home? She says, yes. I was like, okay, come home now. I talked to the school to say, allow her home. And he said, no, they won't release her because if anything happens to her on the way, that she doesn't look like she can walk by herself, we need to pick her. I mean, come on. I had just come back from work that morning. Like, I just came back, literally. I was having a shower, I think, or something. This was like around 11. And they're like, I need to come pick her. And it would take me over an hour to get to her school. So imagine I get to the school, then I'll pick her over an hour. I came back and I was like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? You see, where as much as self-sufficient as you are, you'll be thrown into certain circumstances and situations that will not be easy for you to solve, to resolve, you would want to do it, but it's either beyond your scope at that point or it's going to stretch you really bad. Absolutely. And this was one of the situations. You see where
what did you
part of your self-sufficiency is even with people around you, you can be self-sufficient, having the right kind of people. And as I said, it doesn't have to be a man that wants to get into your pants. It doesn't have to be a man that wants a relationship with you or something like that. I have a good community around me, and it started from my church. And that's one of the things I encourage people to do. Have a good community. It doesn't have to be church, but for me, church is just one of the best places and one of the first places to be able to get a good community around you. I have that. I have a strong community that helps me out. And all I did was, in fact, we have this family. They're like parents, like parents, like uncle and aunt to us, and that's what we call them, auntie and uncle. And I was like, and they call their because they both have cars, so usually they pick us and all that. So they call it their family name taxi for us, For example, saying that this is a Funmi taxi, the Funmi taxi, So yes, I said yesterday. So what I did was I called, I was praying, Lord, my daughter needs to come home. In fact, the school was like, we're like, since you can't come, let's see what we can do. We'll have to let the school know, management and everything. And I was like, dear Father, please help me. And then I remembered them. I was like, okay, let me call. And I know I had been given this assurance that, Affi, call me whenever it is, you need something like this. If I can, I will definitely do it. If I can't, I will tell you. But most of the time, I'm sure I can. And you need people like that around you. People that will be able to have your back. Do you get? And what I did was, it was easy for me to pick up my phone. And I called, I was like, Auntie, this is what I need. I could have as well called the husband to say, Uncle, can you help me with this?
And it's the same thing.
They're not Nigerians. They're Caucasians. They're British. So this is not about saying that you want a community and it has to be people that are exactly like you. No. The church is a family of different people, different tribes and tongues. And that's why we call it family, And I did. And when I called, they were like, Affi, I'm going there. Just give me so time. Will it be too late? I'm like, no. I'm going to go call. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm butting into you. They say, remember I said that if I can't, I will tell you that I can't. But this I can do. Come on.
Yeah. To add to what you've said, and that's the point you're making.
It's not part of self-sufficiency.
It is.
Having the right community around you to help pad up your sufficiency.
It is. It makes you self-sufficient because you being surrounded by such people, it helps you think that you really don't need a man, because what is a union of man and woman? They help each other in so many ways. When one is down, the other one holds her up. Financially, emotionally, and all that. And that's why we say when you have meaningful relationships, you're thriving, you become self-sufficient to the point that you're not thinking or you do not now think of having a relationship as a necessity. Now, to add to what you have said, I also have a community, and I'm going to add, apart from having a community in church, the community doesn't necessarily have to be from the church, though the church is important, because I also happen to go to a church where most of the members are Caucasians. So, and they have been quite supportive of my boys and I. Aside from them, I happen to have a landlord or landlords, both of them, a couple that have been amazing. In fact, I knew them first before I knew the church, and they have been, over the years, they have been very consistent in their support as well. So it makes you think that you have those people. Also, apart from those ones, I have friends in my from going to the boys who have children in the boys' school as well. So it makes things easy. So these are the things, the cumulative and total sum of all these factors make you think, I can do bad by myself. I'm my boss, I'm my own boss. I have this thing down to. Even sometimes you don't even want to bother these people, because I know that, I don't know about you, there are times when I'm like, I don't even when they have this open check and say, Funmi, call us anytime. Funmi, we are there for you in the night hour, in the midnight hour. Sometimes I just show that the whole thing by myself, because I'm like,
Do you know why? You don't want to overspend that check.
Thank you.
That's why.
Exactly.
So that the day you call, they will know that for this girl to have called,
you are stretched to your limit. Exactly.
Which is another thing we also need to tell ourselves. Don't overuse people. You know, yes, we understand we have needs and so, but see, before you make that call, do everything you can by yourself to solve it. Sometimes it might not come together. It's okay for it not to come together. It mustn't always be perfect. No. Look, I don't have it all together. I said it. That's why I said at the beginning, when you said that having the head screwed on, I said sometimes the head is not properly screwed and it's dangling like this. That's the truth. It mustn't always be all perfect and all together. It mustn't. My face is not always made up.
Whose face is always made up?
I'm just saying, you know, like,
I'm not saying even
we go on social. The makeup, so I do. It's only lipstick I put to.
Is there anybody that wears makeup to bed?
And I use white powder on my face. So this smooth face is the natural face that God has. Thank God for it, you know, blessed us with it. It's just trying to be lighter, you know. But basically what I'm trying to say, look, I know that we're vulnerable. I know that we could be weak. I know that we're widows. I also know that we want to be self-sufficient, or we are. But the thing is, some of us overdo it. Some of us actually overstretch it. We're always asking, like this, you know, as in, this person do this for me. And we use the name of, because I'm a widow, because I'm a single parent, I can't do this by myself, you know, as in, I have to try to, I know it's tough. Come on, I know. I don't have the best of jobs, so if I tell you what I'm doing, like, I left a great job.
Don't let us go there, mommy.
To come. And we, you know, the system here throws you, we both have masters. She's a lawyer, I'm a multimedia journalist. But the thing is, the system here in the UK throws you to the bottom rung, and where you have to start all over the climb to the top. And trust me, we are just starting. Why? Because of visa situations. So it throws you into that.
So you're doing all that.
Do you get?
You're doing a job that's, you're doing a job.
When you think about it, you want to cry.
Yes.
We'll talk about that job another time. But seriously, you're not proud of the job, but then you're doing it because you're thinking of the future. You're thinking of your children. You're thinking of, okay, God, I don't want to be, what's the word?
I really
ungrateful.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
You don't want to be ungrateful. But you know you have to do the job. You're paying bills with it.
Bills never stop.
But you see, you can try to do it by yourself. Don't give people the space
to run away from you.
To not just run away from you, to take advantage of you as well. Because every time you're running to this person asking for help, you're running to this person, you need this. You're running to this person, I want this. Oh, I have to solve this. Oh, I need, every time. When it gets too much, people either begin to run away from you when they see your calls or when they see you coming.
You don't want that.
Or they begin to say, oh, this is an opening for me to take advantage of this person.
Which also supports the fact that a widow is vulnerable.
Yes.
So you're admitting. But back to this issue of self-sufficiency and you having support either in the church, your friends, from wherever your friends are, maybe the ones you meet in the course of work, or even outside of all those places. What now happens if they are your support system and something arises in their lives, factors that probably they have also been hoping that would happen to them? Maybe they get job change and they need to relocate, or they are, for any other reason, they just happen to move out of your life to somewhere else and you are no longer able to access such support system. What do you do?
Can I tell you something? I've been in a situation where after my husband died, we didn't have enough money to survive. We needed to pay bills. I couldn't pay my daughter, my younger daughter's school fees for a while, And I kept telling the school. The school knew that. Of course, they knew everything about us.
They kept
the school is a church school. No. That supported us. So I told them that, please, I'll pay. And they know that we've never owed. So they understood.
Good.
Which is another thing. Having a track record matters a lot, But anyway, leave that track record or not, But the thing is, the people I thought that would help, or that could help, or that were helping, were not available. And I was left at that point, to run things by myself, which has happened to in several occasions, The first thing I would tell you is God always suffices. This is our sovereign God. This God that I serve. God works wonders, God hears prayers, God answers.
It does.
See, it might not come at that point where you need it, exactly at that point, but he will always come through. I've had points where I asked for something, I needed that thing, and he came through. I've asked for, as in like, I came through in the sense that I got that thing. I've also had the points where the thing didn't come, but you know what? We survived. We didn't get the help at that point where we needed it. The people to help us were not really available. But then we survived it. We did. So this is like the first step that I'm telling you. Lean on God. Don't lean on man. When my husband died, one of the first things God said to me, one of the first, it's not the first, but one. And in fact, he sent somebody to tell me, I look at her like my mentor, She's a beautiful woman. She was one of the people that stayed there to support me, And I had just met her that period online. And then she called me and she said, Affi, God wants you to look unto him for help and not unto man. It was like God preparing me for the journey ahead, because he knew that I would need that help plenty. Because he knew that I was going to look at men to say, hey, when I say men, I don't mean like man, I mean both man and woman.
Human.
To say, oh, I need money, I'm going to hate God, or I need this thing.
Without having
because
to
I
ask.
had those moments where I needed these things. Oh,
you had,
God.
or you still have.
Or I still have, but it's not as bad as it used to be.
Okay. To go
as
with the
in, and she told me, she said, Affi, never look unto man. When you have that need, look unto God. And you know what? That has worked for me. There have been moments where I forgot that too. And I'm looking at man to say, oh, I need this thing. And do you know what? And I never got those things.
Yes.
And then God reminds me to say, even the people that come to give you those things that you need, I am the one that sent them to you. So it's better you look at me. The Bible says, looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith.
Yeah.
See, that faith I put there, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of the food that you need. Looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of the money you need to do whatever it is you need to do. Looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of the children that is going to help you take care of. That's the thing. And honestly, that is what I have been doing. When I came into the UK, I had people I was depending on. I was disappointed. But then I didn't feel, well, at that point, I felt in desperate needs, but God raised people for me. People that I wasn't even looking towards. God bless my niece in-law, MC. God bless you. out of nowhere, God raised this young girl that calls me auntie to support me. And in fact, there's a teacup she sent to me. She said, she told me herself, she said, Auntie Affi, I've always known you to be a very strong person. So this teacup I'm sending, never give up. Because I was at that point where it felt like help wasn't coming from anywhere. I'm saying all of this to let you know that, look, sometimes the support that you think you have will move away. At that point, what do? Do you fall helpless? Do you start looking out desperately? Do you feel, oh my God, all hope is lost and give up? No. Go back to God, because He's the one that raised the ones that you had around in the first place. And if one community moves away, He will provide the next community for you. I know it sounds like I'm preaching. I'm sorry.
I get that, but I also think that we are brushing over how we feel when these things happen. No. Genuinely, yes, God is the factor, and God has always been the person or the main the main man in my life. Because we always have this that different viewpoint about who God is. I say he's my husband, you say he's not your husband, but he is my husband. So, and he's also my father, because when when the Bible said he's the father of the fatherless and husband of the widow, I do not take that promise lightly. However, it's in human nature. Let me tell you what happens when the first time or the experience from you losing a spouse is traumatic. It is like something you can lean on, like a banister. You can lean over it and look outside.
And then somebody pulls the banister away,
and then the banister is just taken away. That means you can't fall.
Exactly.
You will fall. True. Except you try to adjust yourself and just back away from wherever it is you were almost going to lean. On a banister that is no longer there. And so that traumatic experience stays with you. You know that going forward, you do not have this help ever again. You can't access this the way your friends would typically say, oh, don't worry, my husband will do it. Like, I remember a friend of mine one day, we were just talking, and she was like, oh, a vehicle has a problem. And she didn't fix it. She drives it, she didn't fix it. The husband is out of town. And she's like, I'm not even going to bother, because I know when he comes, he will sort it out. In my mind, I'm like, oh my God.
What a privilege. What did you do?
I sorted it out myself.
You've been going up and down mechanic. How many days? How long did it take you to do that?
So that's the issue. But in the back of your mind, when you're doing all this, you just be like, oh my God, I just wish my husband were here. And so when you now have a regular support system that helps you with that, from church, good friends, that they know when they feel like something is off, they call you to check in on you. How are you doing? Or they even come to visit, maybe with food, maybe with hugs. And then one day, they now announce to you that, and this is a personal experience now, and I've had it happen to another widow that I know who is somewhere up in the north. And one day, that regular support system, maybe that helps her pick the children from school when she's at work, they have to move.
Or keeps the children for you, to give you once in a while outing, just go and catch some air.
Or just to sleep.
Or sleep, exactly, from all the shifts.
Yes. So
the shifts you run.
One of my friends, they are moving soon. I remember how I felt when she told me that they will be moving soon. I started with my children. And they were like, Mama, what's the matter? I said, oh, they are moving soon. And I'm feeling lost without them already. I actually cried a bit. Because in my mind, this person is one of my regular go-tos for advice, for just to talk, just to rant. Because we're always ranting. There's something on our chest we need to get off. And I am feeling it already, because let us tell ourselves the truth. Distance does some things to relationships. You can't maintain it the way you would want to because of distance, because whatever. So that is another round 2 or round 3 of trauma. You're like, oh, I've gotten used to this person. However, you also have it at the back of your mind that every help comes with an expiry date.
True.
There is no help that comes into your life that does not expire. And so one of the things that widowhood, despite the fact that it's traumatic, one of the things that it does for us is it already prepares our minds for the inevitability of people living our lives. And though you feel it, but you're already saying, oh, well, I'm getting used to it, so it's not a big deal. I will rally again and I'll bounce back, even if you're really dependent on this person.
It takes its toll.
It does take its toll. That's what I'm saying.
It takes its toll.
You should not make light of the fact that people living your life just say, oh God, I know you are my help. Of course, I know that God is your help, but it will affect you.
It's the first thing. Of course, it will.
It will.
It will. But do not let that make you lose hope, is where I'm heading, The thing is that it's God that provided that person in the first place. So he'll be able to bring a replacement as well.
Yeah.
And then consciously make friends too. Consciously make friends. Open eye. Because the Bible says, watch and pray. It's true. While you're praying to have a good community around you, to be in the right place, where people would be supportive, you also have to pray about it, to be watchful, to pray, because there are companies that do not just corrupt good manners.
They will corrupt children, sir.
That's the thing. They don't just corrupt. They will bring lasting
chaos,
damage
and destruction
that you don't want in your life, because you have enough going on as it is.
Yeah.
So be careful the company around you or your children.
Be careful the door you open.
Yes, be careful the door you open in the name of community, having people around you, or you need help. Exactly. I mean, it's not an easy journey. I don't pray for people to be widows, or seriously, or single parents, do this thing. Some people choose it, that they choose being a single parent, they probably have the structures. Now, the fact is, you must have a good structure around you to do this.
You must have
journey.
Money.
A good structure is part of money.
That is what makes it easy.
You can have the money. Yeah, like in this country, you see, if you have the money, you'll be able to pay for daycare. Put your children in daycare or
childcare.
Or childcare. I mean, give them childcare. That way you can go and do the work you need to do. But how much? What are you making? How many work are you doing?
How much work?
Seriously, I just told you that you're thrown into the bottom wrong. As in, look, just ask God to give you the right people around you. And if those people move away and all, don't just rely on just one person. That's why we call it a community. So that if one is not available, there is also another, and don't tire them out. So when you have that community, like I have this couple I told you about. I also have a lady, the one that introduced me to the church in the first place, who's like a mother to me. And she's a single person, she's not married. She's a matured lady.
She chose not to marry.
She chose not to marry. She's such a loving soul. This is one person that I can rely on. She's one person that has helped me and my children to ensure that we feel at home, that we are at home where we are, even though we're far from the home where we left behind.
Does she cook jollof rice for you?
She doesn't cook jollof rice, but she eats good jollof rice. In this country, when you come to this country, it's not just about who can cook; it's about who can eat what you cook. That's when you call the person. Yes, you're home. Seriously.
Yeah, I agree.
If the person can eat what you cook,
yes,
you're at home.
You are.
Seriously. Because you find a lot that they can't handle pepper, or they can't handle certain spice. It's not just pepper. They can't handle your curry too.
They can't do your egusi.
You get. So,
oh God,
having community involves a lot. Being self-sufficient too it's good. It's good. It's okay. In fact, my prayer is that God will help you.
Amen.
To, as a single parent, as a widow or a widower, to be able to cope well. Because this thing, we're talking about it from our point of view. We don't know how it is with widowers or with single fathers. We don't know. But the thing is, they go through their own struggles because they tend to work so hard. God, you don't want to know what they go through.
Single parenting is not easy anyway. Anyway, you want to look at it.
It's not. So I pray that God will bring a community to you that will help you. And that even when a part of that community moves away to another place, that it will not just be that, that you've been left alone, or that you're going through another loss in quotes, but that it will be an extension of a community beyond your boundaries, so that even when the person has left, you can say, oh, I want to take a trip to the person's state where the person needs to go visit, and you still have family there. And then the space that the person has left, God will fill it up so good that you would hardly feel that anyone's left your life. May that happen for you. May you not be vulnerable to those who would prey on you, whether as a man or a woman. Amen. who's a single parent or who's a widow or widower. May you not be vulnerable. May God provide your needs and help you to be self-sufficient and God sufficient in every way.
Amen. Amen. Anyway, it's been a good conversation. I think essentially it's just us saying that being self-sufficient is good. Having God at the center is also good. And planning, because I think one thing that this teaches us is you just have to learn to think outside of the box. You
planning is so good.
You plan short term, you plan long term.
Yes.
At the end of the day, you put every plan before God and say, Lord, just help me.
Plan, try and save.
I thought you said you don't have emergency fund.
I don't have emergency fund.
Why are you talking with two sides of your mouth?
No. I don't have emergency fund at the moment because it was used up and it was necessary to be used up. Doesn't mean that I am every day of my life. No, it's just this period. I used it up for a good purpose, a good cause.
That's good.
But look, plan, save, have emergency fund, as she called it. Have a savings. It's very good. It will come in handy. Then have people around you that you can trust to rely on. However, don't overuse them. I was going to just keep quiet and not talk.
Don't cash out your check. Don't cash out all the money in the check. If they issued you 1 million naira or 100,000 pounds,
take 20,000 and just let the 80
and come back. Come back some other time to use the rest. Anyway, it's been a lovely conversation. Well, don't let me say lovely, insightful conversation. We do hope that it blesses anyone out there. And if you do have anything you want to share in regards to what we've talked about, how being self-sufficient, how widows can be self-sufficient, and how they need support, a community of support, and what they do when that community of support is taken away from them or has to leave. If you have anything to share in that regard, please feel free to let us know in the comments or maybe in private messages. We would really like to hear from you. And please don't forget, like our videos and podcasts. Subscribe,
please.
Share.
Please.
We are actually interested and invested in connecting to as many widows or people with similar experiences as much as possible. Thank you for listening.
It's not just about widows, though. Everyone, please. Everybody should subscribe and share and comment. Everyone, please. Yeah. And be praying for every widow around you. Yes. Pray for single parents around you. Seriously, pray for them. Whether they look like they are millionaires, billionaires, or people who don't have anything, please pray, because everyone have the cross they are carrying.
Benny.
And permit me, darling, to just say this, that if you are a single
mother,
parent, a widow especially, or widower, and especially if you're in the UK or in Nigeria, and you need a community support around you, you can actually reach out to us. We're not saying we're going to give you money because we don't have, but we promise to be able to support you in a way that you'll be able to stand. We'll find a way around it. We'll do whatever it is we can, okay, to see how we could create that support system round about you, or we could work with you